would be hard for you to convince me about the difference between machines and human beings. It's not so easy. We are just dealing with this like a feeling, but not rational, but not looking to it. And I guess this is an important question for the future. What is the difference between machines, robots, and human beings? Why can a machine, a robot, never take over human work? Why can a machine, even if it functions much better than humans can do, never be a human being? And I guess and that's the reason for me to have this discussion with you. I think art is a key point for an understanding what human being is, what human life is. So that is what I'm looking for at that panel, but I don't want to preform it, but to start with some statements of you and your work as artists, and you all are in a way linked with enterprises, businesses, with different kinds of work and social work with communities. So I would like to give you first a little bit of space to say something about your network, what you're doing, what the motivation in it is, and of course I guess we will hear why this is art and how artists are thinking, how artists are approach a challenge. So, and I would like to start with you, Liz. I've seen a video of you, and so I have 100 questions here if you don't have anything. So it's Oslo's cultural advocate. That's what she's famous for. And one idea you mentioned is empowering people. I guess this is very interesting. And that's at the first one of the first points how this is related to UBI, because unconditional basic income is empowering people. I experience that so often. If you say you get a basic income unconditional because you are you, because you are appreciated, you are worthwhile as a being, then that empowers the people, that encourages them. And that's the method of your work. And to remember people to a journey that is your journey. That's also what it said, and it's very interesting because it has to do with biography and a life that is authentic. And to create a community of people who are trying to do something creative with their lives. So that's a huge, but now I give you
so my name is Elizabeth. I'm originally from the US, I think. I moved here also about 6 years ago. It was about that exact same time I was in a facility called Lloyd, which works with many things. We're quite ambitious. But at the kind of core of what we do is helping to develop a relationship from every individual person at their level and their needs to art and creativity. So whether people are looking to be just a hobbyist or looking for an outlet, they're looking for just kind of some form of expression outside of their work, or all the way through people who are looking to actually be professional artists and get a regular income from doing this. My job is to help facilitate whatever these people are looking for within creativity, within art and culture. And I've always kind of been like the bossy person in a group, so I've led quite a few projects outside of Blank Face as well. It's been a pretty unique 360 experience of working with art and design from kind of every level. So my job is definitely helping people to have a relationship to art and design that is on their own terms and that is empowering, like you say. Since I agree with you that every person is creative, so how can we help them develop this, and how can we help them have a relationship with their creativity that is useful and on their terms, rather than like, oh yeah, I'll draw tomorrow, or I'll make that poem tomorrow, or I'll dance tomorrow, or whatever. So that's my everyday.
May I just jump in there? Creativity. You also talk about the differences of that term used in businesses. You are creative, you are creative, and it is different from artistic. Or are there differences in our use of the term creativity?
Well, I think one of the problems that we have today is that we have this kind of single umbrella term of art that describes so many different things. And so this idea of, your grandma who's in the elderly home painting watercolor paintings is the exact same term and vocabulary as somebody who's an award-winning designer recreating brands and identities for large companies. That both of these people are considered artists, and that we don't have a broader vocabulary or a specific vocabulary to describe individually why people are making art, what kind of art are they making. There's a lot of misconceptions and lack of communication within the art world.
Would you say, and that's a question to you both too, so when I make a statement, creativity in that real true manner cannot be predetermined by any goal. So when I say, make a nice logo for me, or make a nice icon or whatever, can that be creativity, or is it a misuse of creativity when I'm not free to come to what I come to by working in my progress of the work? Is there a difference between design creativity and artistic creativity? What would you say?
I mean, I definitely believe that art is going to persevere no matter what. I like to when you have a brief, you have a commission, and you have some kind of framework, artistry and creativity is always going to persevere. And I think that's kind of maybe more of a personal question, because there are so many billions of people who have so many billions of different types of limitations on themselves. Some of us work better with better infrastructure, some of us need freedom, some of us cannot take commissions, we have to just make work for ourselves. So I would agree that there are differences between design and fine arts and creativity in these senses, but I don't necessarily I don't put them in a bucket of this one's better or this one's worse, because that's an individual question that we all have our own answer to.
So you're making video games, films, illustrator, but also you're a founder and co-founder of companies. So being creative for something that is beforehand decided what it has to be. Is that creativity, or what kind of creativity? Or is it different in your job?
I don't think there's actually a big difference, because every art form has its limits and its possibilities. Like you have brush, that kind of brush, if you're a painter, you are a painter. You know that each brush has its possibilities and its limits also. So it's the same thing I think about mediums, that some mediums have, so if it's a comic book, it doesn't have sound, or a book, it doesn't have sound. Well, that's a limit, but it's a very broad limit. So you have always some limits to work within, and I don't think it makes that much a difference, and I think some limits are always usually good to have for creativity. So because I think a phenomenon you can see is ambitious people start these endless projects where that has no limits and they never get done. I've been in this situation myself. It's you can make the perfect your perfect life work. If you don't have any limits on it, you're a perfectionist, and it's gonna it's constantly changing, and so you never get done. So it's usually good to have some kind of framework to work with it.
Well, when I talked with other people a long time ago, then it was interesting for me to figure out, and that was also curator said, in economy you always have a goal, a set goal that has to come to happen. Maybe you have an idea or whatever, and then the work, the process is to fulfill that goal. Right? Art is so different because the idea is at the end, and you never can say before what exactly comes out of it, and you even not you cannot say how long it needs, because it needs how long it needs. What would you say to that?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that 100%. I think that when you have art as a hobby, when you have art as self-expression, then yeah, it's a lovely outlet then to be able to go, okay, here I have this canvas, and it's only me who decide what's on this canvas. I'm going to not worry about performing. I'm not going to worry about all the rules of society and things like. I'm just going to make this canvas, and that's a really beautiful situation to be in, and it's a necessary situation that we all should have an outlet where we're able to just express ourselves. But I don't think that the majority of situations in reality kind of have that. Like for myself, if I have myself with a big blank canvas, I am terrified. Like I do not perform well with freedom. I need to have some kind of, maybe even a prompt. So it says, draw a frog. I'm like, I got it, I can draw a frog. And then I can then have that contrast of how this person sees a frog versus how I see a frog versus, and then having that little bit of prompt or briefing or something actually hurls me to a further place than if I had complete freedom.
So but that means you are more involved in social relationship by doing that. You need that people for ideas and some ideas of the others. And it's the same like your ideas. There's a social relationship you are working in.
Yeah, definitely we are dependent on, since a computer game is, well, not necessarily. Some people make computer games alone. It's a very broad medium, from very small games to big games. If you're going to make a medium-sized game, then you need a team. Or you need to dedicate 30 years of your life alone. So you need a team, and definitely it's a social thing. So you need other skills than only the artistic skills.
Yeah.
But for this thing to work, but yeah. Can I just add that? I want to say that about limits and possibilities. I think usually it's a matter of using something that exists, like technology or the pencil or the medium that is already established, to create something that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So that is kind of, and I think that is a good inspiration, is to have that kind of framework to work within, and I think half the fun of being creative and making stuff is like using stuff that exists to make new stuff that doesn't yet.
Toby, I want to come to you. You have a project and it's shown here in the building, and that it is called Between Eating and Sleeping.
Yeah.
You are just undertaking a practice-based PhD in the Fine Art Department at Newcastle University. And you are working with people. Your artistic work is to ask questions, not primarily to get an answer, but to move people, to use stereotypes or whatever, to bring something in the moment. Can you tell a little bit about your work?
So the Between Eating and Sleeping project, which is in the stairwell on the way up to the main theatre. I think it's in the other stairwell, which people aren't using. People going up one way, so it's in the other way around. But the project poses 3 questions, which are: what did you want to be when you were growing up? What gets you out of bed in the morning? And what would you do if you had a year off? And I guess the thrust behind the project originally was this kind of how we all need to eat and sleep to survive, but it's the activity between those 2 things which create our identity, but also create meaning in our lives and things like that. And I guess most of us have stock answers for the first 2 questions. So it might be that you want to be an astronaut or a football player when you were growing up, or an artist, or get you out of bed in the mornings, whether you need to go to the toilet or it's coffee. But the third question, I guess, what would you do if you had a year off, alludes to this idea of basic income. Like, what would we do if we didn't have to go to work? And each question is deliberately doesn't mention the W word, and that's on purpose to try, because quite often people don't mention work at all, but it is something which usually comes back to it through conversation. And I guess I'm interested in asking these 3 questions because, one, I'm interested to find out what their responses are, because I have, I guess especially with stereotypes and stuff, you might have an inclination what you think always surprise me, and that's the reason why I always
They always surprise you.
Yeah.
Their intentional answers.
Sometimes it is, what would you do if you had a year off? Oh, I travel. This is the most popular answer. But quite often, through a conversation, people will surprise me. I think this is the problem as well. When people say, again, it's the same. It's like, oh, we gave everyone basic income, they don't come later and do nothing. And it's like, we all know that that's not true. But I think, the other projects that I've done, I try and ask rhetorical questions where there isn't, an impossible answer. So, how do you contribute to society? This thing of, it's a myriad of things in there. What do you mean by society? What do you mean by contribution? Is there a positive contribution by not doing something?
But to add this, would you agree when I say UBI is such a hard piece for the whole of the society asking all the questions? So because unconditional basic income, it is like asking the question. What do you do if your income will take care of? What do you know about financing? How is our tax system? How is work? What's the value of work? What is relationship in the future? What is work in the future? Is there a relation between art and the idea of non-conditional basic income itself? What do you see?
Well, I guess quite often people say, oh, if everyone had unconditional income, we could all become poets or artists or relax and do all these different creative activities. And quite often, I think that people don't necessarily, and that's the statement that they move on, they don't think about what that would actually be. And I think for me, what would be a good thing about it is the effect of basic income.
Okay.
So that, for me, the most important thing about basic income is the emancipatory effect of that. It gives people more freedom to, I guess, we can start reevaluating what we mean by art. Like I'm saying, it's boxed into these things like you're a painter or you're a sculptor. And I think it's even the idea of culture as well. It would hopefully enable us to reevaluate what we mean by culture and also recognize all the creative things that people do, which don't at the moment count as art. Even as creativity happens all the time, even if you're a businessman or if you're running one of the examples I use is someone running a pub or like a bar. My parents used to run a pub, and they made lots of decisions which went against the financial gain idea. They didn't have this type of beer, or they made their pub non-smoking about 15 years before the smoking ban, and everyone said this is crazy, or this is financial suicide. No one will come to your pub because everyone wants to smoke. And it was quiet for 6 months, and then it became the busiest it had ever been because it was the only place. So I don't think they would consider themselves artists, but I think they made a creative.
You would mention that a creative decision.
Yeah.
Because why? Because it is of their own values. Why would you say it's creative?
I'd say it's creative because they're creating their own environment. So it's like for me, I like pubs or bars which feel like someone's front room, where you know who the landlord is. So it's almost like going to their house. If you have a dinner party and you put on your kind of music, you set up the space the way you want it to be, instead of doing, what is such and such going to like? There's these kind of pubs where it's trying to please everyone, and everyone is, no one's really happy about it, but it fulfills a need. And I like places which are more unique and because they go against the standard idea.
What you say, I guess what you say too, but correct me, is to be creative is to decide by your inner shooting, by your inner voice, by what you think is right, even if it's against the common understanding which you have to do from outside. Can you come? Sorry.
Well, I think that creativity in art in general is less about, this is going to sound so cliche, but it's less about finding, this is right for me or this is wrong for me, but actually having a playground where you can figure out what that is. Where it's like, because you don't have so much, I'm talking more about when you have any brief from a client makes me a logo, there's less space to, to get that creative freedom. But every artist that even works commercially has art for themselves as well. But kind of having this playground where you're able to figure out for yourself, like this is what I believe, or this is how I fit in society, or this is how I fit in the culture. And then sometimes I'll look back on that piece 5 years later and be like, oh man, I did not believe that anymore. But without having that playground, that arena, where you're able to really figure out how you fit and what you think. Like sometimes you can realize something, that you believe something, until you say it out loud, and you're like, oh, you know, this epiphany moment. So being able to have an actual arena where you're able to create things is important.
So yeah, that means what you believe today has not to be the same tomorrow. We can change, right?
To connect this kind of playground to basic income, I would like to pull out an expression from, I guess it's from Marxism, and the left is also usually using it, which means which is that the people should own the means of production. And what does this mean in today's society? I think, in a broad sense, owning the means of production is having the time and some capital, like economic capital, which is a very flexible resource. You can use it in several ways. And ownership and control over your own mind and body. If you have those three things, you have a very powerful means of production in today's society, which has usually been the privilege of people with rich backgrounds and powerful backgrounds. And so I think giving people universal basic income is giving them the means of production. It doesn't mean that they get an ownership in Google. That is a separate discussion, maybe they should, but at least they have an opportunity to start something new, and it's less, it's not so easy for Google to push you out of the market when you have the basic income also. You kind of look at it that way. So there's always, if you are, well, we're talking about art and creativity in a very broad sense now, there are always so many established structures, especially in today's society and earlier societies, that have no interest of allowing your new idea to challenge their structure that makes them money or whatever. So if artists and entrepreneurship and just getting new ideas out there, creating new stuff is hindered or can be hindered by middlemen and gatekeepers and like having to make bureaucracies or capitalists or like the capital owner class for money, then that's a huge limit on what kind of creativity and innovation society can create. And that is very nice for the powers that are established. It's a natural thing in humans that power corrupts, and power is not interested in changing if it works for them. The emancipatory potential of UBI is amazing in this regard, where people can establish new things, work on their ideas, and also be more resilient against being kind of pushed out and challenge power without fear.
Well, yeah, that's the answer of the question. What will change if there's not an additional basic income for everybody, for entrepreneurs, for making startups, for artists? What will change? But I think the answer is obviously what you say that.
Well, I think there's this phrase that comes to mind, at least in like American English. We talk about earning a living, and you have to kind of earn your right to live by going to work and putting your time in, you know. And I think that idea of purpose of life being working is kind of backwards. And I think what we need to be talking about way more than work is this idea of purpose. And then when we replace this idea of, we have to work as a cash register assistant for 19 years to pay off our student loans, when you have that kind of mentality versus, okay, I'm going to wake up every morning and I'm going to dedicate my life to doing this thing, whether it be art or it be design or it be building robots or whatever it is that people kind of burn for. This idea of what do you wake up for? This idea of what do I want to spend my life doing? Most of us, we deserve the space to figure out what that is. And I've never I'm from Detroit, and so I'm used to being poor. I'm used to entire cultures, entire neighborhoods being poor. And and I've never met a poor, lazy person. But I have, I then moved to San Francisco, and I worked in very high-end galleries, and I have met a lot of really lazy rich people. And so being able to kind of switch this idea of oh my God, what are we going to do if everyone doesn't have to work anymore? And I think it's a really fascinating place because people are going to have this empowerment. They're going to have this space to figure out, okay, what do I want to do for a living? And not what do I want to be working for a living necessarily. Because people, we have passion, we have purpose inside of us, but that oftentimes gets kind of numbed out by having to have a 9 to 5 to pay off these kind of dreams we have. And it begins with art because artists are used to being poor. We're used to kind of living with passion without having a lot of means. And so I think this kind of movement of believing in something better starts with artists who are doing it now.
Right, yeah. To come closer to the question, I guess, what is important, that some people say art is luxury. Art is luxury. It's nice to have, you don't need. First you need something. And I say the opposite. First you need art, first you need meaning, then meaning is also important. So people are dying more quickly by having no meaning than by starvation. But this is still like an ideology. You want to say something to that?
Yeah, I have a small little thing, not exactly to that, but around the theme that you're speaking about. When people start, I'm an artist myself, I make murals and stuff. And when people start to express their inner towards painting or singing or music or whatever, that inner is what is the difference between humans and machines. You know, we have creativity in us. And when that expression is put forth and we are really paint and expressed, we are tapping into something that is called spirituality or the life influence that makes us more lifeful. And that, of course, boosts our immunity and have benefits and stuff like that. So with basic income and the possibility of living as an artist, you pretty quickly get to include more parts of yourself. And that has a tremendous personality effect that will absolutely be beneficial for everyone around you, just by you coming in harmony with that fantastic, grandeur inner being that we have that we never can express in any form here in this society we live in. So only that element alone makes life basically become a perfect dream for artists, really, simply because it helps people to
Right. How artists. I guess there's no question that for so-called artists that's a good thing, and for entrepreneurs who are maybe social entrepreneurs, that's so no question. But I would like to pick up that statements from you, because if it is just for artists, then it is some extra sausages for the artists. Then it's not for the community. And what I'm interested in to get an understanding and an evidence, not just a nice belief, not a naive saying everybody's, but an understanding grown up by the artists about creativity, but about creativity as human nature, and make a floor that is understandable by the people that, yeah, really everybody has in his or her nature this desire and this need to be yourself, like you said, if you have passion to it, if you have this ability to talk about your parents, is to decipher yourself, and you yourself are inside, then it's much more valuable for the other people. So this is one point of art, that it is really you. That is the reason why people are ashamed to make a drawing or painting, because then you see how they are. They don't want it. Then you see, oh, this is me, I cannot do that. Because that's not given by other people who say, oh, you have to do it this way. That's fine to do. I have this, it's done by others, I do it when another told me to do it. But if you, so art is, this is really me. And yeah, and you can be judged by it. And you don't know how you are judged. This is one point. So one point is, it is me. I'm authentic. I'm showing myself like I am to the others. I guess that's what an artist is doing also. You're showing it's yours. It's not done by a commission, by an order. Do it like that. You are responsible for it. And you can be seen as responsible for that because that is created by you. Is it a point of art?
But you're also sharing it with other people, I think, so that's the myself is shown, said that the audience who lead the work.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that. If a tree falls in the forest and no one can see it, and it's the same with your painting. It's that he said that there's good and bad art, but you put it out for other people to then respond, and that's again what I'm interested in with my work is to have conversations with people, to create spaces where we can have discussions which challenge the sort of the status quo.
Absolutely. But the first step is you show yourself. So when Jean made that, the first was he is ridiculous, he can be blamed for everything. He took that adventure, and because he was famous at that moment and he was strong enough, well, that was reaction. But the first point, isn't that the point of art, that you become visible, you yourself are showing up with something that is maybe not accepted at that time? Has this to do with art?
Well, I think there's a kind of this idea of art either kind of as therapy, like having a diary, for example, at home. Like I'm not writing this diary to show anyone, but it's just as important for me to be making this. Some people create art that is literally just for them, but they burn it, they're done, but they were able to have this kind of expression to that. But I think some pieces of artwork that I think are the most, I don't want to say like effective, but are the most, I don't know, a lot of artworks are collaborative pieces at their core, where it's not just me expressing myself and really hoping that you like it, but actually going like you're leaving it a little bit incomplete, so that the audience can then look at it and just see themselves in the work, or that you kind of leave it 50% done and then you send it to an art director and then they give you a little bit of an opinion, so they are then adding themselves to that same piece. So you end up kind of more like a collage towards the end, lots of personalities, lots of experiences, lots of backgrounds. And so art is definitely creativity, and it's definitely like, this is, here's my baby that I made, but I don't think it has to be that way either. It's depending on the individual person and the project.
Just to say that I don't mean this mentality, this selfish or not professional mentality, I'm expressing my soul. That's what I mean. But I can give an idea. Isham is a good example. I give an idea in the world. That's not me, but I'm showing up. So I take the risk to be shut down. I take the risk by showing it in which way ever. I'm not talking about this understanding of art that artists are giving their inner side to outside or something like that. So they are doing it in a way, but that's not the professional way. So the professional is that then this is some reality in the world. It's not just me. It is something new or something that was important for me in the world. But yeah, the aspect of taking risk. And I'm saying that because of everybody, because of creativity for everybody, to take the risk to say something new or to make something new. But that is the part of art.
I think part of a lot of different fields. Like, I like the idea of art being something that's not necessarily a final product. I like the idea of art being a tool in the same way we have math, we have writing, we have biology, we have all these things, as being a tool of figuring something out. Like there's an actual word now to describe a field, you have the creative. And these people are a lot of times today are involved with startups, they're involved with app development, they're involved with technology. They don't often involve people painting, writing poetry, doing sculpture, but it's this idea that we have a space where we can just express ourselves and do things, whether it can be involved in something we traditionally think of as art or something that's more, you can be a businessman who's creative in that artistry. It's just having this idea that maybe didn't exist before, where you're using pre-existing ideas and extrapolating upon them.
I think so. It's very hard to define art. Here, it's hard. I think perhaps you could say that there has to be some kind of core of truth, at least a personal one, if you burn it afterwards. Or something that resonates. And it can be only with you, as mentioned, but it has to be something that resonates with the human experience, or something that it's hard to define. But this also, so this resonance can be, this circle of resonance can be as big as or small as you want. There's a good point that Brian Enno, this music producer, made in some interview a few years ago, where he talked about, this is very relevant for the scene that you created. Our company is actually renting space, which is a very nice space.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and so Brian Enno said this thing, and he talked about the myth of the genius, and he was much more interested in talking about the genius, as he called it. So like every innovation out there, and this is my words, is like usually only like 1% innovation. It's like 99% of everything has been done before. And you're always standing on the shoulders of giants and like previous generations and other people in your environment. So this kind of space, for instance, we're super happy being there because there are so many nice and good artists there. People doing different stuff. People are filming and kind of feeding each other inspiration in different ways. And so for every kind of genius, there's always a much bigger scene. And we have this myth in society where private ownership that, oh, it's the guy that created the 1% extra or new thing that owns the rights for that work that usually builds on 99% from the commons. And this is an argument for UBI in itself, because if you're going to distribute the gains from that, actually you just do it in a simple way based on society.
Yeah, and that relates even more to entrepreneurs.
Yeah, definitely. So sorry. In my experience, starting companies, it spend way too much time for my liking just getting basic financing to survive while working. There's like enormous amount of work that we could be using on stuff that we actually know how to do well. Like you have to learn at least all these other things to do that thing that was your core skill. So you spend and waste so much time doing this. It will be so much easier to start things with people who just want to work together. If people have basic income, it's like, oh, this is an interesting project. Can I join? Yeah, let's work together. None of us have a salary yet, but let's just work together. It's super simple. So we talk about cooperatives and owning the means of production. Again, this is the way to go.
So we talked a little bit about art and creativity. To get a bit closer to this conception caused by the idea, is this relevant for everybody? Is everybody creative in their way? Not just the artist, but everybody. And the second will be that we talk a little bit more about entrepreneurship and how you define that. But you have a question with me. What a wonderful acoustic. So instead of talking, I will use it very artistically. Creativity is when you don't know what's going to come out or what comes in. So I have a little project that I'm doing every day. It's called 30 Days, 30 Poems. And today with a large group of people, we're writing a poem every day. And today I wrote a very long poem. But I'm going to just give you the first lines because I think it's relevant. It's about a game called musical chairs. So everybody's running around, and when the music stops, you sit down, and usually you take away a chair, and somebody doesn't find a place, and then you take another one. But in this game I'm saying there are chairs enough. And this is not about taking the place from somebody else. It's about finding your own place. Thank you very much. That's it. So it's so easy to say what it is, isn't it? It's very simple, but at the same time so different to get all the aspects together. So, thank you very much. That was what it is. Entrepreneurship, just to try to come closer to a kind of definition, not an ending up definition, but to come closer to it. What would you say? What is it?
Well, maybe it's, I don't know, it's, I guess it's you are starting something new. I guess that's, and you're starting something that you have ownership of, I guess. It's like, it's mostly tied to like an economic term, right? In the society, you start your own company, that's an entrepreneurship. But then we go to social entrepreneurship, which is, I guess, running a company that works and takes care of people is also doing social entrepreneurship.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe there is no other entrepreneurship than social entrepreneurship. Can that be? Can it be that that is an illusion and a lie and a schizophrenia? That we think enterprises are there and the meaning is to pursue profit. Can it be that this is like mental illness?
I mean, it's almost like, because we discussed creativity and how important it is, but it's, I guess, maybe entrepreneurship, the way that it's understood, especially from a business point of view, is by capturing value or capturing money out of this creative kind of thing. And that's part of the problem sometimes, is that we all understand creativity, but it's when it's valued because we only think things of financial value.
Right.
If it doesn't create money, then it's not important. It's more about we need money to eat. That's survival. That's the most important.
Right. Yeah, it's just because I'm working with enterprise, so I'm not saying that for nothing. But if you look to companies, then the goal never, in reality, is profit. The goal is to satisfy the customers. The goal is to have a platform to live, making your bureaucracy, your work by the employees, to work together with all the suppliers, all the stakeholders. So it's a huge social activity, if you want to call it like that. And profit is necessary. It's just necessary to have profit to go further on or to grow. So if many people buy your stuff, then the applause is big, and that means become bigger. So therefore it's money. So if you look carefully on what is reality in the economy, then you see this is our social behavior. So this is a social world. This is where we do things for each other. But the ideology is making profit. But that's not the real thing. So that's what I'm interested in addition to many other things, to free the concepts, to occupy that misused understandings of, for example, what economy is. That economy is not fighting against each other, but doing good things for each other. And the motivation for the people, for all the people, is to do things that benefits others, because that's my value, that makes sense for me. And then it needs this creative point of creativity, because this is a nature of human being. That's my statement. But that's not necessarily true. We have to check it, to look at this.
I think there's kind of two things that make this a really good time for universal basic income in relation to artists specifically. And I'm talking a little bit more as myself more than as Playspace right now. But the two things that I can think of is one, automation, this idea that it's really not necessary for a human being to work as a cash register assistant. Like we don't don't need to have that job. It's not like the person who's having that job doesn't particularly like it either. And also this idea of art, of this, like we live in a generation now, which we are living in a revolution of mental awareness, mental health awareness, of talking about not just, of making sure that we have good mental health. This is like one of the first times in the history of humanity that we care about how we think, about how we feel. And so when we have these two things, where one, we're losing jobs that are rapid pace, jobs that nobody even really wants, and also this idea where we're really able to explore and we're able to, explore how we're feeling and why we're feeling this way. Art has a very, very good position in that debate, because if we think of this analogy of World War II, World War II, and you can sit and you can read a history book about this is how many people died, and this is when these guys invaded and they moved here. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I can't read that and then absorb any of the information. But if I would read a book, or the Diary of Anne Frank, for example, then suddenly you're able to really feel what it was like, why these things were happening. And that's kind of the role that art has to play in society, is way more than just documentation of this happened today and that happened then, but how did it feel when these things happened? What was it like, and actually having the ability to cultivate empathy is one of the roles of art, and that's perfectly positioned today in the climate that we have.
Right, that is related to more sensibility. So what you said, that 100 years ago, there was nearly no sensibility, psychological sensibility. Meaning, how they engage with each other, there was no sensibility compared to today. So we become even more sensible. And art makes sensible.
It helps at least.
It helps, yeah. And artists mostly are sensible for specific things.
I think we're trying.
So what that has to do with mental health, that has to do with social health, that has to do with how we deal with each other.
So what has brought us to this point, that was a very good point. So what has brought us here, I think it's a big part of it is that we live in an age of information and communication. So we have the internet, which probably will be looked at as like centuries, like biggest innovation of several centuries. It's what I think is just the communication technology to so easily communicate with different people, different places, but also just very close or whatever. And so I think about being the perfect time, yeah, the internet is bringing us closer and giving us at least tools and a framework to grow as human beings, as individuals, but also this becomes a collective intelligence kind of. So this is, if you have free people in a free society, and each individual makes their own choices according to their own values, that together becomes, when you count all of them, becomes a very, I would bet on that intelligence, that collective intelligence, making the right decision more often than like one elite who thinks he or she is very smart. Like always, I would always bet on collective intelligence. And I think having the internet now is, together with the emancipatory potential of UBI, would just perhaps create like a new renaissance, because we have the tools. We simply lack the freedom and the means of production to kind of find the new structures that we want to work with, and kind of gather organically around what we like, instead of being forced to do what a very few people in the world with all the power wants us to do, to maintain their hierarchies or whatever. That's my inner anarchist.
I have a question regarding one idea that often comes up when talking about UBI and work in general is the idea of decoupling income and work. And I'm interested to hear, like from an artist's point of view, like we have all these tools for distribution, like the internet, that can, like theoretically, make it very cheap or free or very available, many different kinds of art to people who maybe can't afford it elsewhere. And so what I'm wondering is, in your mind, in a society where we do have UBI and where every artist has like more than enough to live on, live relatively comfortably, would you want artists to stop charging for the work, or to go to decouple work and income, or would you feel that devalues the art?
That's a really interesting question. I think that this is my personal opinion, which, you know, is a lot of opinions. But this idea, I think having an artist making work and still charging for it, I think is still a good idea, because there's something about validating the amount of work that you put involved in something that's really beneficial, not just financially, but on a mental level as well. Like, I made this thing, somebody liked it, I spent all these hours on it. But this idea of universal basic income isn't going to be, as far as I understand it, that everyone gets anything they want all the time. Like, you're still not going to have necessarily enough money to be able to go on vacation, or just you want to be able to, subscribe to all of the video streaming channels and all of these things. And so I think being able to have some kind of compensation for the amount of time you put in something is still a good idea. But at least being able to take a fire out from your feet, like you have to produce things and you have to sell them or else you cannot keep this money. Like, that's why I'm behind it in terms for artists and artistry. If people are compromising with work that would actually be propelling society forward through a cultural level, through a social level, simply because they have to make work that is, that is going to sell. It's kind of a silly notion. It's stumping why art is there. It's hindering why we're focusing on having to sell it.
Yeah, one of the problems of being an artist at the moment is that you don't get paid for nearly all of the work that you do. So it's kind of, it's like the amount of people I know who are artists who have to do 2 or 3 other jobs, and they sort of like their other jobs fund their practice. So things which are making art has to be funded by doing 0 hours contracts and stuff like that. So yeah, I would disagree with like completely not paying artists, but at the same time, yeah, it would allow those kind of conversations about what is the value of this sort of thing. Yeah, I guess you could argue that with the internet, it means that you can democratize things and distribute things a lot more, but you can still, in some ways it does, you only have one canvas or sculpture, you have lots of photographs, and it's a different thing.
Short comment. So, yes, people will be able to work more easily on stuff that might be profitable later. Because you have to keep with the UBI, you will probably at least maintain or perhaps increase buying power also for some other people. So that, people would be able to have subscribe to different Patreon things to enable artists or writers or whoever they want to encourage without like direct means of telling them to do this like the thing. So you can look at it both ways. Easier to work for free, but also you get increased buying power. And in a future society where people work less, like in general, like people project, that people will have more time to enjoy their art also and buy it and probably increase the market.
Yeah, no, I just wanted, I guess it's kind of more of a comment than a question, but one of the things I'm always thinking about, this has been very focused on like the individual artist, okay, and your individual creations, okay, and I guess what I'm more interested in is how do we create things together? Okay, how would UBI, because a lot of the criticism in the UK recently has been about how UBI is very individualistic and, just emphasizes the individual, will not, so it will just split people apart. I disagree with that because I think that actually it will make it easier for us to work together and it will make it easier for us to actually create things together. I'm just thinking about a game I used to play in school with a bunch of friends of mine, and we would write a story, but we would each write like 2 paragraphs and then pass it on to the next person. Not that that's necessarily what we want to do, okay, But just to introduce the kind of idea of collectivity and how that could be reinforced by UB, help us actually figure out new ways to work together, which is as much about art as anything else.
I think that's a fantastic point. I'm originally from the US, and we are definitely like the lone wolf culture, where it's like, we have each individual person trying to go as far and as fast and as high as they can, because they have to, because we don't really have a society that has a communal infrastructure built underneath it. But I think when you look at things, when I look at something, I'm a really, really big Dungeons and Dragons fan, and that is something that has no monetary possibility to it. Like, there's no way for me to make money off of my Dungeons and Dragons fascination. But that community is huge. There are millions of people who are constantly producing work and constantly creating work that is meant to be shared and meant to be collaborated on and meant to make the community bigger and stronger and more thriving, more interesting. And so this is probably a really weird analogy, but I think the fact that we are social creatures, we are people who want to be connected with communities and people. I think this idea that having universal basic income is going to individualize us so much more is so silly, because we are social creatures. Like, we do not want to be alone at any point. And so being able to take away that fire, like, you have to produce and make money, screw those other guys, you gotta let every man for himself. Like, that'll take away that fire, and we will naturally, as a humanity, grow together and collaborate.
I think it's a good example as well, because it's like, most of my friends, when we work and we do like put on our shows or things like that, it's all based on unpaid labor, we're all doing it together, and it's that thing where you don't mind. And you get into this danger of self-exploitation and things like that, but I just don't mind doing that and contributing to a scene. I guess that's you're contributing to a scene instead of being exploited by it for someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I think that's important to mention that creativity is to do what I really think is the best, and I don't know what's coming out, and I take the risk, and I show myself, and I come to an authentic part of the world for myself, and then working together as entrepreneurship, or as building communities working together. But the new is that you decide about yourself, that you are responsible for yourself. And I think what we are not talking about yet is, well, that is a bigger challenge then, because you are responsible. So more freedom is more responsibility. So unconditional basis and so forth. We can also say art is the end of thinking. That's where thinking comes to an end and something new starts. So it's not just what you have in your brain, but then that happens for everybody. Then you have this, what we talk about, this things you know about, they end. It comes to an end, and I can say that from experience where I got unconditional subsidy, unconditional stipendium, or what it is, unconditional. So they didn't say because you have to do this and that. After a while, it really burned on my brain. So if I'm really doing what's best to do with my capacities, my knowledge, what I can, so even as an artist. So that's the input, the impact of the unconditional for being is that it is the most strong question to you if you are really doing the best thing of your life. It's different by a machine. The machine doesn't feel it. But unconditional doesn't mean, oh, that's nothing, that's free. No, unconditional means, no, it's me. And that's the most strong input. Just to say that.
So there is a painter. So basically, he got all, or a sculpture. They got all the time to do the things, but if for getting money or grants, what they need to get grants from is the marble or the limelight.
Canvas.
Yes, the canvas. So that takes away a lot of the need to get money. But if you have a project that's big enough, this is what you want. And also, if you are like a dancer or theater and want to make a performance, the actors are paid. They can say yes if they like the idea. what you need is maybe the economics for the house you're going to do it in, for the lights, for the technical things. But the human part, the rehearsal, the meeting, that's already paid for. And of course you have the drummer. He needs his drum set, so he works full time until he gets the drums. And then he has time to rehearse, time to play with others, time to get better. And this is one thing that universal basic, you have the time to do what you want, can give us. So the question will be, instead what you do for a living, it will be, what are you doing with your life? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go for a long time, go together. Old African proverb.
Well, I can change topic just slightly, but well, it's relevant for this thing we're talking about. So in Norway we have this we've had this oil boom for the past 40 years, right? It's been boosting our economy, and like so the oil industry and a lot of people have been busy like saying, oh yeah, but we owe all our wealth in this also everything is building so much new stuff, and the economy has been booming, etc. We owe all this to the oil boom. But that's quite kind of unfair to Sweden and Denmark and Iceland and Finland, because they are also, and a lot of other places in the world, because they are also civilized societies, have a healthy economies, healthy people who thrive pretty well, and we're kind of similar to those societies. And the common thing is that they invest in their own people, so they have a welfare state. It's not perfect. We need to reform it to have a basic income in the bottom that works for everyone, doesn't let anyone through the cracks. But it invests in its own people. And so our oil, it's not like the oil one day suddenly like started coming out of the ground and turning itself into plastic and selling itself on the market, being refined, turning itself into plastic and fuel, etc. The idea of how to use this kind of resource came from people. So it's not the oil that is the big resource, it's the people, the human mind, and the series and the collective intelligence of people building on what other people do and cooperating in large numbers, etc. So people is the main resource of society. That's where all growth and economy and development come from. So that is where you need to channel your investments, not in the company or the bureaucracy that's hoping to do something, but that with very complex hope and very weird incentive structures along the way. No, you invest directly in people, allowing people to thrive, and to paraphrase Scott's sentence, have that. You build the house with a strong foundation. You don't try to build the house first and then, we forgot the foundation, people falling through the cracks in the first floor. You need to rebuild the house with a strong foundation. It's much easier.
Well, I think we can say creativity is the resource of the future. So, of course, human creativity. And I think we could sum up all the crises we have to say it's just a single crisis, and that's a cultural crisis. Because everything, whether it's refugees, climate change, economic crisis, whatever, it's all done by us. It's not from anyone, it's done by us. It's our way to think and to behave. So that's what I think we can say that the only one crisis is a cultural crisis. That we stick on old opinions, outdated beliefs, habits, and so on. And it's always painful to change. That's what you said too. Great. It's always painful to change. So then an unconditional basic income is at that basis to give people who live in the opportunity to be creative. That means to change things, to come to a new, to take a risk in your life. And that's not so much focused on the art only, because know many artists who are saying, well, that's not interesting for me. The good professional people, they cost money. I cannot have actors without paying them a huge fee. I get just those who are not so successful. So it's not just that fantastic world for the artists. It's good for the art, but it's good for creativity and the artist in everybody. And I mean every day, and you sit every day when the mother deals with the child, it's a procedure of creativity. You have to find new what's the best, and I think that's everywhere. And artists are something for me, like, making this consciousness, bring that up so that you see it, you feel it, or you have forms, social forms, or performances, or whatever, where your sensibility for that is increased. But art is a matter, in a way, for everybody, as far as we are going in the future, that is more democratic. That means that people can decide about how they want to live their life in a basic level. And that is the future of the resource of creativity, and that's the solution. And the solution is never done and then everything is fine, because when everything is solved, we are dead. So that's what the engineers like, to have a society, every problem is solved about that. So we have again bigger problems, so that we can progress by bigger problems, more interesting, more challenging. I think that is the basis for that. The basis of UBI is a good thing that challenges us. So time is over. Thank you very much for your contribution and your listening and questions, and I hope it was